The African continent holds some of the largest and most valuable mineral deposits on Earth. Yet, many of the nations sitting on top of this immense wealth continue to face significant economic challenges. To understand this disconnect, we have to look at how these resources are pulled from the ground. In an economic context, a mineral is a natural substance found in the earth that is valuable for industrial use. When these deposits are shallow, companies use open-cast mining. They extract the resources from an open pit by removing topsoil and rock, which often causes extensive land degradation. To reach deeper mineral veins, like gold in South Africa, companies use underground mining. This involves digging tunnels and shafts deep into the earth. It is a capital-intensive process, requiring massive investment in machinery and safety infrastructure rather than just human labor. For liquid resources like petroleum in Nigeria or Uganda, the method shifts to oil extraction. This involves drilling deep wells to reach reservoirs. You'll often see these industrial platforms situated in the middle of dense forests or sensitive river deltas. While these three methods successfully move physical value out of the ground, the act of extraction is only the first step. On its own, mining does not guarantee that a nation will thrive. Mineral locations depend on Africa's ancient geology. Metals are in crystalline basement complexes, stable rocks in the DR Congo and East Africa. Fossil fuels are trapped in younger sedimentary basins, like the Niger Delta and Uganda's Albertine Graben, where softer layers hold oil and gas. This flowchart outlines the economic value chain of mining. The first stage is extraction, mining raw ore. While African nations excel at this phase, it actually provides the lowest profit margin in the cycle. Processing and refining is the second stage, where ore is converted into pure metal or fuel. This is where significant value is added, yet this step frequently happens at facilities located outside Africa. The final stage is manufacturing, where those materials are used to build cars, phones, or fertilizers. This stage generates the highest profits and the most skilled jobs, representing the ultimate goal of industrialization. This creates a structural trap. By exporting raw ores and importing finished goods, African nations lose out on the wealth and employment opportunities created during the later stages of the value chain. Beyond the economics, the extraction phase brings heavy environmental risks. Large-scale mining leaves behind a scarred landscape, with vast networks of roads and pits that lead to massive deforestation and displacement of local farmers. Silt and chemical waste from these sites often wash into rivers, clogging fish breeding grounds. In oil-producing regions, spills can destroy local water tables, making it impossible for fishing communities to maintain their traditional way of life. In some regions, the growing demand for minerals like coltan has fueled social conflict. Unregulated mining areas are sometimes controlled by armed groups who use the profits to fund instability, leading to calls for better traceability in the global supply chain. While multinational corporations may see high returns from these resources, the local populations are often the ones left to deal with the permanent environmental and social consequences. There is also a macroeconomic risk known as the resource curse. When a country discovers oil, the massive influx of foreign currency can cause the local currency to become too strong, a phenomenon known as Dutch disease. Think about the impact of that shift. If oil exports make the local currency incredibly expensive, what happens to a local farmer trying to sell their coffee to buyers in other countries? When that farmer harvests their crop, they find that their coffee has become too expensive for foreign buyers to afford. The high value of the local currency, driven by oil, makes traditional exports like agriculture uncompetitive. This creates a dangerous over-reliance on a single resource. Other sectors like farming and tourism begin to shrink, leaving the national economy fragile and dependent on global oil prices. To prevent this, governments can establish a sovereign wealth fund. This policy ensures that resource money is saved in a secure account rather than being spent all at once. The fund then provides a steady flow of investment into infrastructure like roads and hospitals. This approach protects the economy from price fluctuations and ensures that future generations benefit from the mineral wealth through better education and long-term development. Looking at this comparison, we see that mining provides essential taxes and jobs, but it carries risks of pollution and economic instability. Balancing these factors is the central challenge for resource-rich nations. Mineral wealth provides a country with the capital needed for growth, but it requires strong governance to translate that into prosperity. Success depends on moving up the value chain, protecting the environment, and ensuring local communities receive a fair share of the wealth. To explore more about Africa's resources, visit the Yaka digital learning platform.